Welcome to this BBSA training video on how the sun affects buildings and the people who live and work in them. The sun is essential for life and is a vital source of energy. However, the effect of the sun is constantly changing, mainly due to the seasons, the time of the day, and also weather conditions. Throughout the course of a day in the northern hemisphere, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Let's have a closer look at how the sun's path changes during the seasons. The arc of the sun appears lowest in the winter. It moves further up as winter turns into spring, and is at its highest in the summer. As summer turns into autumn, the arc becomes lower and then drops to its lowest again in the winter. This picture represents the position of the northern hemisphere in the summer. Due to its closer proximity to the sun, we enjoy higher temperatures. And due to the more direct angle of the sun's rays, more hours of sunlight. The heating effect of the sun is called solar irradiance and represents the intensity of the sun. This map of solar irradiance shows how much energy the sun is delivering to every square metre in Europe over a period of 1 year. In the hottest parts, it could be up to 3,000 kilowatts per square metre per annum, or up to the equivalent of a 1 kilowatt radiator heating for 3,000 hours per square metre. Solar irradiance is made up of 3 different wavelengths, and these are measured in nanometers. Firstly, ultraviolet. This is invisible to the human eye and is responsible for aging, changing and damaging our skin and the objects around us. Secondly, visible waves. These provide us with light and allow us to see colour and shapes. And finally, infrared. This is invisible to humans but is felt as heat. Different coatings have been developed which allow glazing to either retain or reject heat and light. This is known as spectral selective glazing. When the sun irradiates an object, some of the wavelength gets transmitted onto a surface, such as glazing or roller-blind fabric, which means it passes through the material. Some of it gets reflected back to the outer environment, and some gets absorbed by the actual material. Of course, the total of reflectance, transmittance, and absorbance always equals 100%. By using blinds and shutters, we can optimize, and in a dynamic way, what proportion is transmitted, what proportion is absorbed, and how much is reflected out. But what do I mean by dynamic? Well, in the summer we should adjust blinds and shutters so that more of the sun's rays are reflected to keep our homes and offices cool, and in the winter we should allow more of the light and warmth in. Glazing, unlike blinds and shutters, is typically static and unable to adjust, so it is best complemented with dynamic and smart shading solutions. These have the ability to adjust to the ever-changing levels of energy we receive from the sun. So let's just summarise. The path of the sun changes depending on the season. The sun's energy we receive is called solar irradiance and is made up of 3 types of wavelength: ultraviolet, visible, and infrared. These rays are partly transmitted, partly reflected, and partly absorbed by objects like windows and blinds. The effect the sun has on the earth changes depending on the seasons, weather conditions, and the time of the day. Blinds and shutters are dynamic and can adjust to this ever-changing energy, unlike glass, which typically cannot adjust. For more information, visit the British Blind and Shutter Association Knowledge Hub for other videos about the benefits of blinds and shutters.